The earth is not the same as the world. The earth is not the same as the world. There is a difference between the earth and the world. Hello again, people. SkyWalker here, coming from this darkness. Today, I wish to offer you the most unseeming key to clarity. Sometimes you might not see the simplest thing if you are trapped with thinking in terms of the world instead of finding your intrinsity as the innate child of earth who has all truth inside of him. I hope this will resonate. There are two roads, as always. One consists of external laws of ulterior conjure. The second one is to offer one's soul in exchange for the things of the world. And I did not say the things of earth. That is completely different. I said the things of the world. When or how the earth walker chose zombification over self autonomy, I do not know. Where is the ultimate fulfillment to live without a soul? Still, this speaks to the power of free will. Freely it was given to those that take the sacrifice. There is always the few that will like to listen to my videos, yet there are the multitude and their shepherds always aiming to infringe on the order of righteousness. Everything that exists, everything in balance conforms to that degree of righteousness, be that thing, as we say by unanimous ideal, good or evil. There is never a need to agree with anything I say. Yet, if this video sparks up a good conversation in you, press the like button, even share and subscribe to keep with the conversation. Some chose different paths, while others hold on to their intrinsic self autonomy. You speak about the world all day, but remember how it serves other people's purpose to have you define earth and the world as the same thing. One is the natural, authentic, existing vessel of a physical space airplane. The other is some other person's ideal. The other is an external person's ideal. Or it might be that of the collective, a collective force. The individual are individuals' own worlds, and they that own worlds are God's, for they created. They created it. You are God to the world you create, but have no jurisdiction outside of it. In order to claim jurisdiction over you and steal your soul in order to labor you in their world, they must confuse you by the laws of intrinsic and all righteousness. In order to labor you in their world, in order to steal your soul, they must convince you by confusing you with the laws of intrinsic and of all righteousness. When you see the world as being the same as the earth, then you agree to accept the conventional laws as set out by these gods and the parts that take autonomy over you. By doing so, you become subject. This is when, and only when, they can refer to you as subject. On the other hand, when you take your own autonomy, knowing fully how and why you are not a subject of their world, and when you live by that thought and will, they become the ones that owe you their souls and legacies as long as their world infringes on your rights that was here before the world of theirs. Your rights was here before their world came. One intrinsical right is that of the paradise of all the great and wonderful joys of creation that you had at your disposal before they came. To cheat one's happiness is the infringement, especially when it was they that created the edifice of interference. By them creating a world in your space, you have a right to anything useful in that world. And at that same time, you have a right to your personal autonomy. It is like someone planting a fruit tree between your land line and theirs. And when the fruit grows, he wants to tell you that you don't own that which was in his yard. But it is not even a rightful suggestion that he is making. He plants it to the line and the tree hangs over and the fruit falls in your yard. It's yours. You can own it because it infringes upon your space. You cannot own a soul because it infringes upon your space, though. A soul is different because the soul is that of intrinsic autonomy. These are inalienable law fixed in universal natality. No God and no man has a greater right than the other. In the biblical stories, it is recorded that Jesus reminded this entity that he is not of this world. People now interprets it as him saying he is not of this earth. Those are two different things. It seems like a different language to many. However, those to whom it matters know exactly what it meant. I want to explain it to you today, at least by enough parts. The Earth is a physical turf, a terrestrial or airplane that moves through the cosmic in the cycles of these winds. It is like land that a farmer can possess and farm. It is for all that dwell upon this domain. It is natal for all earth walkers that are born upon it. The world is different. It is a spin, a twist, a spiritual reckoning of ulterior force or motives. The earth is intrinsic to perpetual motion and it is the right of all its beings. The world must be created by gods. It is a superficial spiritual edifice that is made to seem real. And for those that lose their autonomy, it seems so real that it confuses their way of thinking and causes them to submit and become the subjects. For example, they will tell you that it's God's earth that you live in, so God has the power to do whatever He wills with you. Yet, it is obvious in this case that to be born and to live upon the earth is not the infringement. To come to the earth and build soul stealing edifices, to cast nets and fish for human souls, or to terrorize and enslave is the infringement. And the only one who wants the souls of others is the villain. The one who wants the souls of others is the villain. He is the villain until you agree to his autonomy. Then you absolve him. So you have two choices, agree or do not agree. Those that know their stance, being of the earth but not of this world twist, stay within their natal truth. And these are the righteous ones. They are owed to infinity, to eternity even, for they are wrongfully infringed upon. My friend, when these terrorists came to this realm, the beings were jovial in their hedonic place. Yes, in Eden. Joy and happiness is never a problem to living beings, but envy and greed in others becomes a problem. By creating a spiritual edifice using words like abracadabra to create something out of nothing, the world appeared. It became like a spiritual possession of the earth. Conventional beliefs and modus operandi were formed, and men were tricked into believing like it was the natural way, but it was never the design of the universe. It was synthetic. Only by synthetic means will the souls of men be stolen, so that an outside entity can declare himself God. So, you agree that you are under his laws because you do not see naturally anymore. By him putting that spiritual possession to the earth, a spiritual world seems natural. Many of the words you use to make rightful judgments by are already flawed because they are not even natal. Yet you will use them to justify without realizing. Instead of quoting the universal laws and inalienable truths, you quote the world doctrine, which is nothing but a conventional paradigm made by external beings. So the earth world is a spirit paradigm for the earth or the world order. The earth is the physical plane that belongs to us. Each time we advance to new dispensations, these handlers will change the order, or they say reset, in order to maintain their hold on their sheep. For they want to be the shepherds of men, and they recruit workers, including your politicians and celebrities, to help them do so. So, you talk about gods as if this entity is natal to the intrinsic of perpetual motion. It is nothing but a world construct. There is no God upon the earth but the dwellers of earth that have power to create. And all power to create comes from the deity, which is internal force that these external gods have externalized by superficial means. A deity is one with superior mastery who is looked up to for that performance. Usain Bolt mastered the highest speed. Therefore, he was deified. But you were confused by your mind being compartmentalized when they told you he was an idol, but you did not hear them. You think that it is a difference? No, he is made into that supremacy so they can, if necessary, use his power of influence over you. An idol is simply another announcement of godhood, another way to say he is a god. So if you will not listen or accept, maybe your favorite music artist might do a deed, put on some form of clothes, walk with a matey handbag, or sing a song, and you worship him without expressing that truth by the actual words. But you worship him and give your power to him, whom God's in turn owns and takes your power through this deity. Therefore, they keep making all these gods are demigods, for he who stays on top wills to be the God of gods, and he controls them through these demigods, celebrities, politicians. You must agree to this world paradigm to be subject to it. If we are the gods we serve, we are more objective and autonomous. If we serve gods thinking we need them, we become soulless. My friend, wisdom is simplicity. After a certain period, the danger of researching the paradigm by the words of the paradigm might occur to you. And this is why you have to hear from within. It's no thing going inside you to possess you. The demons are outside that you fear, are outside of you. And then you must be careful. The universe created DNA, right? You are researching, taking the evil that was written for you to read from outside, and then you are scared that you are listening to something from inside that is the demon. Make that make sense? And then you must be careful. The universe created DNA and all your information is in your DNA. Therefore, light is in all of us that will find it. The fear and confusions about magical and scary gods and devils is mere superstition. That which is relatable is relatable. That which is not relatable is not. You don't go anywhere by way of infinity. You go by the particular force. In every human way, that is how we do, how we be and become, and how we create. Looking for something that we cannot see or fathom is not a wise way. The more we discern, the higher we advance. In order to get your agreement to be their slaves, they make contracts to you in all these forms. They tell you to accept their deity as your savior, and they bring fear to you that makes you surrender. They want your blood. They will drink your blood. I have been telling you these things for decades, and it is up to you to see it. However, they make contracts with you to accept being their sacrifice, to bow down and make yourself pray. And pray is actually spelled Prey, but it matters not if you pronounce it the same way. Subliminal portals are sensitive enough to bind the agreement by using words pronounced the same but spelled similar are spelled different. When dealing with religious matters, by looking at the presentation from these cards, the meaning comes back to the same thing. For example, you are talking about eating the flesh of the Son of Man and drinking his blood. This is what a predator does, and the subject is called a prey, which is not spelled Prey but is pronounced the same. If you believe this is a coincidence, realize that it continues by a long series of coincidences to the degree of impossibility. Do you believe in a continuous series of coincidences? It tells you distinctly that it is the lamb to the slaughter and the sheep of the pasture, and other subject ways to mention Pray as Prey. It always tells you to subject, bow and surrender and pray. They told you, they have to tell you, in order for you to agree with the contract, they have to tell you that Pray means Prey, and that's what they are telling you. But they are trying to blindside you because they want you to agree so bad that they don't want you to be fully aware. But this is enough to absolve them because it is obvious. It is you who choose this ignorance by choice. It is by choice. Ignorance cannot be something you choose by, okay, it's easier. So therefore, the sin is upon you. By you agreeing to this contract, you sell your souls. However, the God spell is also done in all walks of life, not just by way of religion. There are so many other things they do, and you agree. They use words to make you agree that you be belong to God and you give up your own autonomy by not trusting your own understanding. This is deep. For now, it enters the realm of zombification and dependency for definition. Even to own your own soul or a will, you take to the world dimension or the order of the spiritual realm that will now govern your very right on the earth, because you don't want to own your very will, your very soul. When you take their world as yours, you give up your rights on the earth. You are the one who's singing that God should take your soul, take your everything, your sacrifice, even though you have a birth certificate, which is like a bill of lading, a document of ownership of product delivered to them. This agreement is null and void for many reasons, but they still use it against you because you do not declare your disagreement. Instead, you christen your children at birth, the ship's birth, where the product was delivered, born by the vessel, but you say it was barn. Those two words mean the same, born and barn. This ship, this ship brings your children to their world and paradigm. This is what the ship is about. This spiritual vessel takes them from their rightful earth, and this is why you have to have a birth certificate or a bill of lading. This spiritual vessel takes them from their rightful earth, a separate world, to birth upon the earth world plane. This is their concept, the earth world, which is the earth spirit plane, the earth paradigm, to take from them the conventional spirit that defies their way of earth, a new paradigm and world order. These are what they propose, but you must agree by your full engagement. For example, they call for sacrifice, but you christen your child at the sacrificial pool, and then you call for your own blood, and especially for theirs, for your children, for you say the Son of Man. They tell you that they will eat. They tell you that they will eat. You should eat to be in communion with them. They will eat you, they tell you, and you should eat to be in communion with them. In other words, do to others as you would have done to you. Yes, they become more like you by feasting on you. They are the vampires of old, and they are still here. You have the power as an earth walker, and they want that power to fit with the paradigm. They commune with you by that power when they feast on you. They commune with you by that power when they feast on you, and you agree. You always agree. It does not matter that they take from every living man a bill of lading. This is null and void. But it matters that you do these sacrificial rituals and then you call for blood. It does not matter that they will declare ownership of what they are not entitled to possess. It matters that you do not stay in the autonomy of self and view the deity within as the one that you trust. My people, please like and share this video. Also subscribe and keep up with the conversation. Peace out.